we are sitting here in the Merit Royal with Stephen Chidwick, and it's a beautiful day, and it's perfect time after all that we had in the pandemic time to talk about a little bit about the poker. So the first question has to be like this, Stephen, how was your time? Can you describe your time during the pandemic?
Yeah, I guess there were struggles like everyone, but it was more comfortable than a lot of people. We managed to make it to Canada right before the borders closed, so we were just in the mountains, plenty to do outside, and it was a nice place to spend the lockdown. And the silver lining of the whole pandemic was watching my daughter grow up, because she was, I guess, less than one at the start of the pandemic. Um, and I spent so much more time with her than I would have, and every day was just amazing. So um, some good came out of it, for me at least.
That sounds beautiful, and of course, congratulations about having probably a bit different life than you used to.
Bit different.
Uh, of course, the pandemic is kind of over now. We are in the huge poker tournament. I mean, in this case,
Hmm.
you played even this summer
Hmm.
before. Can you tell us about your traveling? Like you're traveling with your family, or what's your routine about this time? About how you're doing that.
Yeah, I travel with my family as much as possible. I don't like to be without them. So, and my wife's very supportive. She helps me out and
Beautiful.
comes around with me. Um, so yeah, I guess travel is a bit difficult still. Between different countries have different rules between, like, whether you need to quarantine and test and all that stuff, and it changes very quickly. So it's a bit more logistics, I guess. But my wife mostly takes care of that, so I get to focus on the poker.
Which makes you like in the perfect shape, and that's beautiful to hear. And usually, let's say now it was pandemic time, but what's your plan? How much time of the year you spend traveling, and how much you are like at home?
I don't really have a home per se, so
Oh,
traveling most of the time, and then kind of in between tournaments, go on holidays or see family or whatever. Um, but yeah, I plan to keep traveling for poker, at least for the next couple years, probably as much as I can.
I'm sitting in a dream place, and I'm listening the absolutely fascinating like type of the life. Like a year and ago, you talked with a friend of mine, Maria, about the short deck. We
Hmm.
are here in the Super High Roller Wall Europe, and there is like kind of 50-50. The tournaments selection between the Hold'em and
Yeah.
and short deck. And you told like you were in kind of the learning process. Maybe pandemic helped you. What changed in 1.5 year in your short deck knowledge?
I think I'm still in the learning process, and I think I will be forever. Like, I could spend 100 pandemics studying short deck and still uh, have plenty to learn. It's a pretty complex game. I think I got a bit better at it, and I'm excited to play some tournaments. Obviously, there's not too many opportunities to do that, so it's kind of hard to practice. Um, but I always like trying to learn new games and having some variety. So yeah, I'm having fun.
You were talking about the short deck tournaments, and it's easy to get rusty when
Hmm.
you're not playing them. But during pandemic, what about the live tournaments, even the Hold'em? You didn't felt like getting rusty about what was your first experience after some break? Because usually I don't feel you have the break in the live circuits
Hmm.
for such a. How you maintain that, to be like focus after some time, not to lose your patience and etc. What's your I don't know, maybe you're meditating, any other stuff like this?
I love playing poker and I love playing live. So for me, it wasn't too difficult when I came back. I was just so ready for it, and um, that kind of helped me focus. It was the first opportunity I had to play live for so long. So I wouldn't say that I got impatient or anything. Obviously, it was a bit weird playing with chips again after such a long time, but I think I got back into the groove fairly quickly.
And during that time, you were not able to play live. Have you played like online? Just
Yeah, I played quite a bit online.
but you prefer the live games, as I
I
understand.
do, yeah.
Yeah, it's obvious. Actually, one more thing about why I was asking about this, because usually when all of the players they usually play in the bigger field tournaments, they having like I don't know hundreds or even thousands of opponents nearby, and you are like your focus is the only highest buy-ins, and but you have the field of the small field tournaments, the tiny ones. What's the different things, probably you're getting notes and they're playing again and again same players. Can you describe this feeling and the differences from your
Yeah,
perspective?
yeah, it's a big difference, and it's kind of the same difference in a way going from online to live, where you have a lot more information and you have more experience with players. That only gets amplified when the field gets very small, and you play with the same people over and over again. And I really enjoy the level of complexity that it adds to constantly be playing hands with the same players and trying to make adjustments, but obviously knowing that everyone else is doing the same for you. So I find it to be a bit deeper of a game than online or even than big field tournaments, which are of course fun, especially to go deep in a big field main event or something. It's very fun. But overall, yeah, I like playing the small fields, and it has a different feeling when everyone knows everyone's name, and it's maybe it doesn't look so friendly sometimes on stream tables because everyone's very focused, especially final tables. But in general, like people talk a lot, and everyone knows everyone. It's a nice atmosphere.
Actually, I felt it here, because you're traveling in the different locations, but you are same faces, just you're meeting same person in different ways. And I'm extremely curious, as I'm a little bit a poker player as well, what about these things that they're talking a lot, the fundamentals of game, the theory, and I'm talking about live games, and also the reads, I consider in this level when everybody stay focused. I found you really added. You're really 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 focused all the time. Uh, what is like for all of the let's say audience who are more recreational? What is the in the bigger field tournaments about the reads and the fundamentals? How important are the reads in the tournaments, like bigger fields, live tournaments? Because I think you are one of the person it better from the scratch to the highest level.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes both ways. Because you play so many more hands with the same people, you can get some deeper or more precise reads about how they approach certain situations and or kind of physical stuff. But in general, these players are fundamentally very strong, most of them. So you can't kind of deviate too far without them realizing and doing the same to you. I think in bigger field, main event type stuff, it's a bit more about finding where the average player in the population is going to be weak in a certain spot and just like attacking it really relentlessly. And it doesn't really matter if you are getting very, very out of line because you don't play with the same people enough to for it to catch up with you, kind of. So I guess that's where the difference is.
That that was really nice to hear from the person, that knows like from my perspective knows really really well. One and the last thing about all this live circuit, have you tried, I don't know, the sea, the sunbathing, I don't know, going to the mountains? Probably not, because you were deep in the like 3.5 tournaments you were played so far, as we can say, and you were into the money in a couple of them. So, do you feel you will get something, or you already done about about Cyprus, about the hotel, all the things?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had too much free time here, though this morning I was up early enough to go to the pool and hang out a bit with my daughter, which was really, really nice. But I spent some time in Turkey before coming here with a good friend who showed me a good time, went fishing and swam in the sea and all that good stuff. So yeah, I've seen a bit of some of the surrounding area, but I don't think I'll make it outside the resort too much in Cyprus.
I wish you so. You know, you have so much work to do. The main event of 250,000 is coming, more of the hundreds are out there. And I really hope your family will do these other things. So thank you so much. It was really huge pleasure. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.